أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today is today is 8th of May 8th of May 2025, and I am recording this video for English speaking practice. The book which I am reading is Government Bank Recruitment Exams, Professors Key to Government Bank Job, Questions, Solutions and Explanations. Professors Prakashan. Prakashan is a English Bengali word which means publication. Publication. Prakashan. Something like that. Okay. I just wake up, so it is feeling sleepy. I am feeling sleepy. Okay. Green environment for sustainable development, 8:45. Green environment for sustainable development. Rupali Bank Limited, exam taken by Bankers Selection Committee, Officer 2019, written exam. Examination held on 22 November 2019. Time 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. Marks 200. Answer all the questions in a specific area indicated in the answer script. Number 1. Write an essay in English on green environment for sustainable development. Introduction. Sustainable development refers to a mode of human development in which resource use aims to meet human needs while ensuring the sustainability of natural systems and environment, so that these needs can be met not only in the present but also for generations to come. This was all one sentence. This all was a single sentence, which is sustainable development refers to a mode of human development in which resource use aims to meet human needs while ensuring the sustainability of natural systems and in the environment, so that these needs can be met not only in the present but also for generations to come. The term sustainable development was used by the Brundtland Commission, which coined what has become the most often quoted definition of sustainable development: development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development ties together concern for the carrying capacity of natural systems with the social challenges faced by humanity. As early as the 1970, sustainability was employed to describe an economy in equilibrium with basic ecological support systems. As early as the 1970, sustainability was employed to describe an economy in equilibrium with basic ecological support systems. Ecologists have pointed to the limits to growth and presented the alternative of a steady state economy, steady state economy, in order to address environmental concerns. Subgroups. The concept of the concept of sustainable development has in the past most often been broken out into three constituent parts: environmental, environment, sustainability, economic sustainability, and socio-political sustainability. More recently, it has been suggested that a more consistent analytical breakdown is to distinguish four domains of economic, ecological, political, and cultural sustainability. This is consistent with the UCLG, United Cities and Local Governments, move to make culture the fourth domain of sustainability. So the sustainability domains are economic, ecological, political, and cultural sustainability. Sustainability refers to the maintenance and enhancement. Sustainability refers to the maintenance or enhancement of resources productivity on a long-term basis. The concept of sustainable development causes considerable confusion, albeit it is very widely used. Albeit, A-L-B-E-I-T, albeit, new word found. Albeit, A-L-B-E-I-T. I need to highlight the text, so I need a highlighter. Yellow highlighter I bought the day before yesterday. Albeit, A-L-B-E-I-T, albeit it is very widely used. It is something related maybe, however, because there is the sentence was the concept of sustainable development causes considerable confusion, albeit it is very widely used, and rather, however it is used. Although it is important to impose a single definition, the researchers believe that clarity of understanding is important in order to make the concept usable. A clear definition would help to secure sufficient consensus to promote collective action between individuals and agencies operating within a range of policy areas and at different levels of governance. There are various definitions of sustainable development which are used to mean the concept. Sustainable development is in some cases is thought of as involving increases in the equality of life which are equitable. A clear definition would help to secure sufficient consensus. A clear definition would help to secure. S-E-C-U-R, secure. A clear definition would help to secure sufficient consensus to promote collective action between individuals and agencies operating within a range of policy areas and at different levels of governance. Their development is in some cases is thought of as involving increases in the quality of life which are equitable. But the problems of sustainability in the developing countries can be held responsible for poverty and issues related to it. Poverty is a social disease which hinders, H-I-N-D-E-R-S, which hinders. The space is too narrow. Sorry. Whenever I moving my book, the mobile stand are hampering my pages and cover. That's why it makes me angry. because there the space is limited. Okay, what to do? Hinders, which hinders long-term productive life, and so needs to be eradicated. Eradicated, E-R-A-D-I-C-A-T-E-D. Eradicated, eradicated. Wow, so many new words. Eradicated. The path of sustainable development will be easier through the alleviation of poverty. Alleviation, alleviation. A-L-L-E-V-I-A-T-I-O-N, alleviation. I heard the word, but I didn't recall the meaning of that word. The path of sustainable development will be easier through the alleviation of poverty. Alleviation, alleviation, alleviation. Is it removing the poverty? Alleviation, making people get out of poverty, making them higher. Elevation, elevated, alleviation. Okay, alleviation. I think I should mark it with red pen. Alleviation of poverty. Frank also underlines the importance of community participation and beneficiary সুবিধাভোগী involvement in sustainable development programs. Beneficiary. Consequences. John Bedden views the notion, N-O-T-I-O-N, notion of sustainable development. Views the notion. I used an app that is called Notion, which is related to Google Keep, where I keep my notes. Okay, Notion, N-O-T-I-O-N, Notion. Of sustainable development as dangerous. Views the notion of sustainable development as dangerous because the consequences have unknown effect. He writes, in economy like in ecology, the interdependence rule applies. Isolated. For the blessings of coronavirus, we heard the word isolated a lot. Isolated means making him separated from something. Isolated actions are impossible. A policy which is not carefully enough thought will carry along various perverse, P-E-R-V-E-R-S-E, perverse and adverse effect, an adverse effect for the ecology as much as for the economy. Many suggestions to save our environment and to promote a model of sustainable development risk indeed leading to reverse effects. Moreover, he evokes the bounds of public action which are underlined by the public choice theory. The quest, Q-U-E-S-T, quest by politicians of their own interest, lobby pressure, L-O-W-Y, lobby pressure, partial disclosure, etc. He develops his critique, C-R-I-T-I-Q-U-E, critique, by noting the vagueness, V-A-G-U-E-N-E-S-S, vague, unclear vagueness of the expression, which can cover anything. It is a gateway to interventionist proceedings, which can be against the principle of freedom and without proven efficacy, E-F-I-C-A-C-Y, efficacy. Against this notion, he has proponent, P-O-N-E-N-T, proponent. Proponent of private property to impel, I-M-P-E-L, impel the producers and consumers to save the natural resources. According to Baden, the improvement of environmental equality depends on the market economy and the existence of legitimate and protected property rights. They enable the effective practice of personal responsibility and the development of mechanisms to protect the environment. The state can, in this context, create conditions which encourage the people to save the environment. Okay, there are so many words that is new to me. Not new, I heard them at least once in my lifetime. I heard them, I can guarantee you, but I don't know the exact meaning, their uses in sentences. I don't know them. I didn't want to work on them to enhance my vocabulary, but now I have to mark them to enrich my vocabulary, and further, in some way, if it is possible to use them in my sentence, then it will be great to add them in my sentences. Okay, my sentences are very basic. I don't use any of the advanced words yet. These are some of the advanced words, I think, because I didn't heard them. I don't heard them in common sentences frequently. Okay, John Baden views the notion sustainable development as dangerous because the consequences have unknown effects. He writes, in economy like in ecology, the interdependence rule applies. Isolated actions are impossible. A policy which is not careful enough thought will carry along various perverse and adverse effect on the ecology as much as the sustainable development, as much as for the economy. Many suggestions to save the environment and to protect a model of sustainable development risk indeed leading to reverse effects. Moreover, he evokes the bounds of public action which are underlined by the public choice theory. The quest by politicians of their own interest, lobby pressure, partial disclosure, etc. He develops his critique by noting vagueness of expression which can cover anything. It is a gateway of interventionist proceedings which can be against the principle of freedom and without proven efficacy. Against this notion, he is proponent of private property to impel the producers and the consumers to save the natural resource. According to Baden, the improvement of environmental quality depends on the market economy and the existence of legitimate and protected property rights. They enable the effective practice of personal responsibility and the development of mechanisms to protect the environment. The state can be, in this context, create conditions which encourage the people to save the environment. Critique is a good word. Lobby is a good word. Vagueness is a good word. Isolated is a word. These are words I don't use in my speech a lot. Interdependence views the notion of sustainable development as dangerous because the consequences have unknown effects. He writes, in economy like in ecology, the interdependence rule applies. Isolated actions are impossible. A policy which is not careful enough thought will carry along carry along various perverse and adverse effects of the ecology as much as for the economy. Many suggestions to save our environment and to promote a model of sustainable development risk indeed, INDWD, indeed, leading to reverse effects. Moreover, he evokes the bounds of public action which are underlined by public choice theory, the quest by politicians of their own interests, lobby pressure, partial disclosure, etc. He develops his critique by noting the vagueness of the expression which can cover anything. It is gateway. It is a gateway to it. It is a gateway to interventionist proceedings which can be against the principle of freedom and without proven efficacy. Against this notion, he is a proponent of private property to impel the producers and the consumers to depend on the market economy and the existence of legitimate and protected property rights. They enable the effective practice of personal responsibility and development of mechanisms to protect the environment. The state can in this constate. Here state not a city. Here state means statement maybe. The state can in this context climate create conditions which encourage the people to save the environment. The state. Okay, I should read it again. Sustainable development refers to mode, refers to mode of human development in which resource use aims to meet human needs while ensuring the sustainability of natural systems and the environment so that these needs can be met not only in the present but also for generations to come. The term sustainable development was used by commissions which coined what has become the most mode of human development. Which coined what has become the most often quoted definition of sustainable development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development ties together concern for the carrying capacity of natural systems with the social challenges faced by humanity. As early as the 1970s, sustainability was employed to describe an economy in equilibrium with basic ecological support system. Ecologists have pointed to the limits to growth and presented the alternative of a steady state economy in order to address environmental concerns. Subgroups. The concept of sustainable development has in the past most often been broken out into three constituent parts. Environmental sustainability, economic sustainability, and socio-political sustainability. More recently, it has been suggested that a more consistent analytical breakdown is to create a difference. Distinguish economic sustainability. More recently, it has been suggested that a more consistent analytical breakdown is to distinguish four domains of economic, ecological, political, and cultural sustainability. This is consistent with the UCL's United Cities and Local Governments move to make move. Here, move means a step. Move to make culture the fourth domain of sustainability. Sustainability refers to the maintenance and enhancement of resources productivity as on a long-term basis. The concept of sustainable development causes considerable confusion, albeit it is very widely used. Although it is important to impose. A single definition, the researchers believe that clarity of understanding is important in order to make the concept usable. A clear definition would help to secure sufficient consensus to promote collective action between individuals, and various definitions for sustainable development which are used to mean the concept. Sustainable development is in some cases is thought of as involving increases in the quality of life which are equitable. No, the camera position is now I can use more space. Is it okay? I think so. Oh, I can lean to this side. Okay. Then okay, great. Where was I? Sustainable development is in some cases is thought of as involving increases in the quality of life which are equitable. But the problems of sustainability in the developing countries can be held responsible for poverty and issues related to it. Poverty is a social disease which hinders long-term productive life. So needs to be eradicated. Mean need to make the point highlight. I think so. After reading the line, I don't know the exact meaning. The path of sustainable development will be easier through the alleviation of poverty. Frank also underlines the importance of community participation and beneficiary involvement. Beneficiary involvement in sustainable development programs. Okay. Invitation to speak at symposium as the keynote speaker. A Nobel laureate economist will be visiting your city next month on behalf of the organizing committee of a symposium on symposium mean title of a symposium on rescuing people from poverty. Write a letter inviting him to attend as the keynote speaker. Grameen Donate Foundation, Professor Harvard University. Invitation to speak at symposium as the keynote speaker. What is symposium? I don't know. Dear sir, I on behalf. Is it grammatically correct? On behalf of the organizing committee of a symposium would like to draw your attention. I would like to draw. Okay, this is a good thing. I would like to draw your attention. Symposium would like to. I would like to draw. Here I, and the thing is on behalf of the organizing committee of a symposium. I, on behalf of the organizing committee of a symposium, would like to draw your kind attention that the Grameen Donate Foundation is working for local farmers and women looking to bring themselves out of poverty from 1972. The organizing committee has decided to organize a symposium on 25th March 2024 at Osmani Memorial Auditorium in Dhaka. For that symposium on rescuing people from poverty, our organization, the Grameen Donate Foundation, is cordially requesting you to speak on poverty reduction as the keynote speaker. Your presence in the above mentioned symposium is cordially welcome to make the function meaningful and successful. I like this phrase. I would like to draw your kind attention. Would like to draw your kind attention. Okay. Sincerely, on behalf of the schedule of events. Read the following passage and answer the questions below. We can never get people to act morally by providing reasons of self-interest, because if they accept what we say and act on the reason given. We can never get people to act morally by providing reasons of self-interest, because if they accept what we say and act on the reasons given, they will only be acting self-interestedly. They will only be acting self-interestedly, not morally. By refusing the claim. I heard the word refuse. Refuting. By refuting the claim. REFUTING. By refuting this claim, it would be stated that the substance of the action, what is usually actually done, is more important than the motive. People might give money to help those in extreme poverty. Because their friends will think better of them if they do, or they might give the same amount because they think it is their duty. Those helped by the gift will benefit to the same extent. I heard the extent word many times, but I don't know the uses of the word. Either way, this is true, but crude is a good word. It can be more sophisticated if it is combined with an appropriate account of the nature and function of ethics. Ethics is a social practice that has evolved among beings living in social groups, and it promotes way of living that are in the interest of individuals living in groups. Ethical judgments can do this by praising and encouraging actions in accordance. I heard the word accordance with these values. What the ethical argument is stated in this passage? Moral argument. Follow the idea stated above and formulate the definition of ethics in your own words. If a person acts self-interestedly, not morally, the substance of the action becomes more important than the motive. To formulate the definition of ethics, I can say ethics is a system of moral principles. If it is concerned, there is no word, no it. If is concerned with what is concerned with what is good for individuals and society, and affects how people make decisions and lead their life. What does the term sophisticated stand for? The term sophisticated stands for having or showing a lot of experience and knowledge about the world, or highly developed and complex. What the role of ethical judgments? Ethical judgments plays an important role in the decision-making process. Ethical judgment is reasoning about possible actions in the situation and judging which action is most ethical by praising and encouraging actions in accordance with the values. Give a suitable title for the passage. A suitable title for the passage is The Importance of Ethics Among Beings. Translation. Bangladesh অমিত সম্ভাবনার দেশ. Bangladesh is a country of immense possibility, immense potentialities, immense mean অমিত, অপার, immense. তাহলে আগে বাংলাটা পড়ি. First I will read out the Bengali text. Bangla text. বাংলাদেশ অমিত সম্ভাবনার দেশ. I didn't heard the word অমিত. গত 20 বছরে বাংলাদেশের অর্থনীতি প্রবৃদ্ধির হার 4.5% থেকে বৃদ্ধি পেয়ে 7.8% অধিক হয়েছে। একই সময় জনসংখ্যা বৃদ্ধির হার 2% থেকে হ্রাস পেয়ে 1.25% দাঁড়িয়েছে। দুটো উপাদান বাংলাদেশের অর্থনীতির দ্রুত প্রবৃদ্ধি ও ব্যাপক দারিদ্র্য হ্রাসের পেছনে প্রধান চালিকা শক্তির কাজ করেছে। একটি হলো রপ্তানি আয়ের অব্যাহত প্রবৃদ্ধি, আরেকটি হলো প্রবাসী বাংলাদেশের আয়ের ব্যাপক প্রবাহ। উল্লেখ্য, বাংলাদেশ গত 10 বছরে $100 বিলিয়ন বেশি রেমিটেন্স পেয়েছে। দেয়ার ইজ নো বেঙ্গলি ওয়ার্ড ফর রেমিটেন্স। বিশ্ব নীতি নির্ধারকগণ বাংলাদেশকে তাই দ্রুততর অর্থনৈতিক প্রবৃদ্ধির দেশের সারিতে বিবেচনা করেন। বাংলাদেশ ইজ এ কান্ট্রি অফ immense potentialities. In the last 20 years, the growth rate of Bangladesh economy has become more than 7.8% from 4.5%. During the same period, the rate of population growth has become 1.25%, decreasing from 2%. Two elements have worked as driving forces behind the rapid growth of Bangladesh economy and vast poverty reduction. One element is the continuous growth of export earnings. The other one is the vast flow of Bangladesh immigrants' income. It can be noted that Bangladesh in last 10 years has the remittance of more than $100 billion. So the policymakers of the world consider Bangladesh in the QA mean line, in line, are the quickest economic growth countries. Translate in Bangla. The cost of Dhaka's traffic congestion, CONGESTION, traffic congestion is estimated $3.8 billion a year, and that's just delays and air pollution. Less tangible losses, inequality of life, paradoxically, wow, what a word, paradoxically used here as an adverb, maybe. Paradoxically, the poor infrastructure is one of the reasons why the city is growing so fast. Whatever a city dweller is asked how long it would take to get somewhere, he generally gives two answers. Without traffic, maybe 15 minutes. but with traffic, who knows? In 2012, as a solution of this harsh uncertainty, the government announced a 2.75 billion plan to build a metro rail system and a 45 million bus rapid transit line from the airport. For residents of Dhaka, it will come as a relief. Okay. Green economy, a solution for future Dhaka. 1111. Green economy, a recent idea of modern green economy. Write an essay on green economy, a solution for future Dhaka. Introduction. Green economy is a recent idea. Green economy is a recent idea of the modern world. Green economy is something that can generate growth and improvement in people's lives in ways consistent. Green economy is a recent idea of the people of the modern world. Green economy is something that can generate growth and improvement in people's life in ways consistent with sustainable development. In fact, green economy reflects an overall development picture of our land or a country. Bangladesh has also been steered steered by the induction green economy. A green economy is one that results in improved human well-being and social equity while significantly reducing environmental risk. An ecological green economy is an economy of economic development and a knowledge of ecological economics. In the simplest expression, a green economy can be thought of as something which is low carbon resource efficient and socially inclusive. Now Dhaka is facing a lot of problems, so Dhaka needs green economy for solving all problems. Green economy initiative. With the passage of time, the UNEP led green economy in 2008. Green economy initiative consists of several components whose integrated overall objective is to provide the analysis of policy support for investing in greener sectors, in greening environmental unfriendly sectors. It aims to provide guidance on policies that can catalyze increased Increased investment in these sectors provide advisory services on ways to move towards a greener economy in a specific country and engage a wide range of research, non-government organization, business and UN partners in implementing the Green Economy Initiative. Green Economy and Right Solution for Troubled Dhaka. The green economy offers so many mistakes. The wide spelling mistakes, the offers spelling mistakes. Powerful solution to both a warming planet and economic volatility. Economic volatility. Volatility means not stable. There are a host of political and economic crises in Bangladesh amidst all other problems and uncertainty. Global warming continues update. Higher temperatures. Today in Dhaka are largely sustained by increased carbon dioxide due to excessive use of vehicles and other things. According to Karl Barkert, a green economy bases green economy bases on 6 main sectors: renewable energy, green building, green transportation, waste management and land management. Practically speaking, a green economy is something whose growth in income and employment is driven by public and private investment, reducing carbon emissions, enhancing energy and resource efficiency, and preventing the loss of biodiversity and ecosystem service. The developments created by the green economy enhances where there are places for sound living. So the government is willing enough to make the Dhaka city livable. Along with the government, some NGOs are working to reduce the problems of Dhaka city to a minimum level. The success of green economy mainly depends on the best use of so many grammatical mistakes. Use of environmental or natural goods and a careful handling of natural resources must guarantee a multilateral development. Development in a society or a country. Green economy can save the people from air pollution leading to respiratory failure. So many spelling mistakes. বইয়ের মধ্যে এত যদি স্পেলিং মিস্টেক থাকে তাহলে হইল 4টা অলরেডি মিস্টেক পেয়ে গেলাম 5টা অফ এর জায়গায় লিখছে ওএস you rather than use the I can even make a sentence. That's so embarrassing. Respiratory failure. And the Dhaka city can have atmosphere with renewable energy, green building, green products, etc. Clean transportation, alternative fuel banan ভুল, failure banan ভুল, not banan ভুল, offers banan ভুল, not banan ভুল. Public transport, hybrid vehicles. It is a proper waste management system and land management. So we are quite hopeful to have a city with green economy where people will like to live peacefully. Recent years is an age of democracy. The victory of democracy has been extended to all over the world. For this, public awareness of a country is needed to test the fruit of democracy. Test the fruit is needed to test the fruit of democracy. However, no country can make democracy sustainable without proper education. Only educated and conscious persons are able to choose right representatives of them. In silent language, trees make us hear the songs of success. We have to listen to them with the ears of feelings. Then we will understand that life means progressions. Trees and animals have no control over their growth, but men have control over their growth. We have to listen to them with the ears of feelings. With the ears of feelings. Then we will understand that life means progression. Trees and animals have no control over their growth, and men have control over their growth, and here is man's dignity. Man's growth is not only physical but also spiritual. The Padma Bridge will play an epoch making role in the economy of Bangladesh if the construction is completed. Biological diversity 560. Focus writing in English. Write an essay on biological diversity. Introduction. Biodiversity is a broad concept. Life on Earth depends on the interaction of many different plants and animals. Each has unique abilities, some of which include absorbing carbon dioxide and producing oxygen, filtering water and producing food and medicines. This variety also enriches our own lives with natural beauty and mystery. When biodiversity takes place, we face climate change. Definition. In biodiversity, bio means life and diversity means variety. In essence, biodiversity means variety of life. The most straightforward definition of biodiversity is biodiversity means variety of life. The most straightforward definition of biodiversity is variation of life at all levels of biological organization. Meaning of the term: biodiversity is neologism and a portmanteau word. from biology and diversity. Neologism and portmanteau word. What is this word? Neologism and portmanteau word from biology and diversity. The science. Okay, biodiversity is a broad concept. Life on Earth depends on the interaction of many different plants and animals. Each has unique abilities, some of which include absorbing carbon dioxide and producing oxygen, filtering water and producing food and medicines. This variety also enriches our own lives with natural beauty and mystery. When biodiversity takes place, we face climate change. Definition. In biodiversity, bio means life and diversity means variety. In essence, biodiversity means variety of life. The most straightforward definition of biodiversity is variation of life at all levels of biological organization. Meaning of the term. Biodiversity is a neologism and portmanteau word from biology and diversity. The science division of the Natural Conservancy used the term natural diversity in a 1974 study, the preservation of natural diversity. The term biological diversity was used even before that by conservation scientists like Robert E. Jenkins and Thomas Lovejoy. The word biodiversity itself may have been coined by W.C. Rosen in 1985. Biodiversity found on Earth is the result of 4 billion years of evolution. The origin of life is not well known to science, though limited evidence suggests that life may already have been well established. Only a few million years after the formation of the Earth, biodiversity found on Earth is the result of 4 billion years of evolution. The origin of life is not well known to science, though limited evidence suggested that life may already have been well established only a few 100 million years after the formation of the Earth. Until approximately 60 million years ago, all life consisted of bacteria and similar single-celled organisms. Over the next 40 million years or so, global diversity showed a little overall trend, but was marked by periodic, massive losses of diversity classified as mass extinction events. Modern biodiversity is not much different from biodiversity 300 million years ago. While planning the National Forum of Biological Diversity organized by the National Research Council (NRC), which was to be held in 1986, the word biodiversity was deemed more effective in terms of communication and biological diversity. Distribution of biodiversity. Biodiversity is not distributed evenly on Earth. It is consistently richer in the tropics and in other localized regions such as California floristic province. Flora and fauna diversity depends on climate, attitude, soils, and the presence of the other species. In the threatened species, moreover, most scientists estimate that there are millions of more species actually endangered, which have not yet been formally recognized. Brazil's Atlantic forest contains roughly 20,000 plant species, 1,350 vertebrates, and millions of insects, about half of which occur now here else in the world. Threats to biodiversity. During the last century, erosion of biodiversity has been increasingly observed. Some studies shows that about 1 of 8 known plant species is threatened with extinction. Some estimates put the loss at up to 140,000 species per year. This figure indicates unsustainable ecological practice. Almost all scientists acknowledge that the rate of species loss is greater now than at any time in human history. Destruction of habitats. Most of the species extinction from 1082 to 2080 are due to human activities. Human activities, in particular destruction of plants and animal habitats. It is estimated that more than 40% of the Earth biomass is tied up in only the few species that represent humans, livestock, and crops. Global warming or climate change is driven by human activity. These factors, while all stemming from stemming from overpopulation, produce a cumulative impact upon biodiversity and climate change. Since the mid 1800s, global temperatures have increased by about 0.6 degrees centigrade, impacting the entire world from low-lying islands in the tropics to the vast polar regions. During the last century, the largest glacier on Mount Kenya has lost 92% of its mass. Sea levels have risen by 10 to 25 centimeter. The thickness of sea ice the Arctic has decreased by 40%. Current climate change predictions are not encouraging. They estimate further increases in temperatures of 1.4 degree centigrade to 5.8 degree centigrade by 2100. By 21st century, by 2100. Predicted impacts from a temperature increase of only 2.5 degrees centigrade include 210 million more people at risk from malaria. Up to 3.1 billion more people suffer from water scarcity. 50 million more people facing hunger. Even if all human sources of greenhouse gas emissions are stopped immediately, the impacts of climate change would continue. The impact of climate change would continue for 50 years. Benefits of biodiversity. There are a multitude of benefits of biodiversity, such as food and drink. Biodiversity provides food for humans. About 80% of our food supply comes from just 20 kinds of plants. Although many kinds of animals are utilized as food, again, most consumption is focused on a few species. Medicines. A significant proportion of drug are derived directly and indirectly from biological sources. In most cases, these medicines cannot presently be synthesized in a laboratory setting. Moreover, only a small proportion of the total diversity plants has been thoroughly investigated for potential sources of new drugs. Many medicines and antibiotics are also derived from microorganisms. Industrial materials. A wide range of industrial materials are derived directly from biological resources. These include building materials, fibers, dyes, gums, rubber, and oil. Awareness of biodiversity issues. The United Nations proclaimed May 22 the International Day for Biological Diversity (IBD) to increase the understanding and awareness of biodiversity issues. In December 2000, the UN General Assembly adopted 22 May as IBD. The Secretariat of the Convention on Biological Diversity is pleased to announce the focus of International Day of Biological Diversity 22 May, Biodiversity and Climate Change, 22 May in this month. preservation and protection. Actions can be taken to reduce human impacts and therefore reduce the rate of biodiversity loss in dry and subhumid lands. Among others, this includes reducing overgrazing in delicate ecosystem, reducing pollutants produced by intensive agriculture, slowing the conversion of grasslands and savanna system to agriculture or urban settlements, taking steps to control invasive alien species into these ecosystems, helping to build institutions that will alleviate poverty, and allow the poor to realize sustainable livelihoods, mobilizing sufficient financial and technical resource, particularly for developing countries to achieve the sustainable development goals. Conclusion: in taking these actions, we will achieve concrete results. If we act now, it is within our power to achieve the biodiversity target. Heading this plan, we all have to take care of our beautiful world, ensuring other animals and plants coexistence in the same time. That's it. Thank you.